Hello and welcome to another video. So let me run you down through the whole story. Everything started back in my senior high school days. But yeah, it was a Thursday afternoon during school. I think we were on a break. And then usually during the break you go to the dining hall, then there's food provided, but the food sucked. So there were these group of guys that were usually break bounds. When I say break bounds, if you haven't gone to an African school, I'm sure you'll be unfamiliar with the way. It's when the student leaves the confinement of the campus, usually by jumping over or sometimes under the wall that's breaking bounds. So usually they break bounds, go outside and then buy food for themselves and other people to set up like a business. And then because students and then it's daytime, they usually wore like casual clothing to not get detected. So even though casual clothing were illegal, everybody had a pair of casual clothing with them that they hid from, the inspections and then all the stuff. So I was in my classroom when I heard that those guys were going outside. So I drove down to them, dressed in my casual clothing, and we made our way from the school, at least a good 5 minutes walk away from the school to where they were buying the food. And after they were done buying the food and everything, I specifically didn't want to go back into campus. In school, I usually do this thing where like when I'm trying to clear my head or some shit like that, I get up and just go out for a walk to where like it's not actually important. I will just go out and randomly walk in a direction until like I'm satisfied and I turn back. So today I decided to go a little bit further. So I walked for like 45 minutes to 1 hour. Then I got tired and decided to go back. But then this is called a trotro, basically the poor man's taxi. The trotro pulled up and then the guy ushered me inside. So basically now I was miles away from my school, so I didn't have to worry about it's just seeing me or some shit like that. So we dropped at the market and I just continued walking. When I walk, I usually don't pay attention to my surroundings. And you may be wondering, or wasn't I worried about being lost? I actually had my phone, which is also illegal. I snuck it into school and was hiding it from inspections and all that shit, and also airports. Basically, almost everyone in school had their phones, airports. It was highly illegal. So I had my AirPods in and I was walking, listening to, I'm not sure, my playlists was an amalgamation of songs I stole from my classmates. So 30 minutes into the walking, again, yes, I walk for a very long time. It's basically a pastime for me. Then I felt someone hold my wrists and then yank me backwards. It wasn't like a forceful yank, but actually like a weak. At that time, I was above the height and weight class of my peers, so I wasn't really afraid of a confrontation like that. So I turned fully ready for a confrontation when I saw this very, very beautiful light-skinned girl. Like, my God, she was stunning. And then she had on this very erotic yet modest outfits on. Your mind wouldn't immediately go to, she said, your mind would go to, oh, she dresses, flashy, she likes to show off. Alright, cool. So me, I'm wondering what she wants. And then she told me that she called me back then, but then I didn't respond to her, so she followed me and then kept calling out to me, but I wasn't here. She wasn't calling my name, she was calling me tall boy. Usually, if you don't know the person's name, you call them with a description of themselves. So she called me tall boy, but I couldn't even hear her calling me, so I just kept walking. Then she asked me what I'm doing. I said, I'm just walking. And I cracked some type of joke because it got her laughing. I was laughing. And then you see, it broke the whole mood because I've been told I have a resting bitch face, but then he talked to me for a few minutes, realized that I'm actually a very big softie. So she joined me on my walk, but then she kind of led me back on where I originally had came. As we were walking and going, she asked me, do I want to have fun with her? So me, I'm thinking my risk game had reached the maximum because I just met this girl and she's already feeling me to the extent where she's calling me back to a place to have fun with her. So I followed her towards a slum of some sort. It was basically these box houses. Lengthwise, it was my height. So I'll basically say like 6'8'3". They were just like scattered around. So we had to maneuver through a maze of boxes. We kept talking as we were going, kept getting catcalled from ladies older than me. And see, the thing about me, you should know that I also speak the native language. Being that I was born here, I don't speak the native language. So let's put a name on it. Let's call it Ruby. So me and Ruby were going through basically the slum of box houses. We passed very close to this one box house where a lady reached her hand outside the house and then tried to, touch my private. But then Ruby held her hand and then gently pushed away and told her that it's mine, which she said that in English. Yeah, I was even more eager to see where the day was going. So I followed her to her place that was basically the same box-like structure. The bed was basically like 2/3 of the entire room, so there wasn't much space for anything else. So she sat on the bed and ushered me to the bed. There was a bag hanging on the wall behind it. She reached for it, grabbed out some tissues and a condom and then started putting her rates to me. Let me use dollars because that'll be what you are more familiar with. Let's say she said something like $4, $5. She was, giving me the prices, and then I realized that, oh, this is what she actually intended. But then in my mind wasn't on that shit. So like I told her and explained to her that like I thought she was feeling me. Then she laughed, I laughed. But before that, didn't surprise me was when I told her that, oh nah, I'm not cheap. reduced the price all the way to literally $1. Honestly, this girl was absolutely stunning. She was beautiful, and the fact that she valued herself at $1 like made me feel some way. I wasn't feeling really good. So after I cleared the whole misunderstanding, then she said she doesn't usually get customers at this time of day. She just saw me walking, and I figured, I'd be a good customer or something like that. So that's why she called me over. All of a sudden, we started talking about other things. We spoke about my life, shared things with her that I wouldn't usually just share with someone at the first meeting. She shared her whole life story with me, literally her whole life story. And then trust me, that shit was sad as fuck. I honestly got me feeling bad about it. And the true extent of how long we had talked, it dawned on me when like my alarm started ringing. It was around 8:30 in the evening. So I realized that I've been here for almost like 3 hours. So that oh shit, I need to bounce and to get back to school. So I asked Dave if there's a place around here that I can get something to eat. And then we went, I bought her and myself some food and some drinks. We came back, and by the time all of this had finished, it was around 11 in the evening. So usually getting a card back to my school from that place I was in wouldn't be that easy around that time. It's possible, but wouldn't have been easy. So she suggested that I stay at her side for the day, because usually at night is where she gets her customers. But since I was here and took up basically most of the active hours of the night, I didn't think she would get any customers after this point. So I should just stay over. Then the next day, which is Friday, I can leave. So I stayed over at her side. Then we slept on the same bed because there's only one bed. I have this habit of folding things while I sleep. That's why I always have 2 pillows with me. I hold one pillow, then the other pillow I use for my head. So I informed her that I hold stuff in my sleep. She's cool with that, and she had only one pillow. So I laid on the pillow, then she laid on me. And trust me, that was honestly the best sleep of my entire life. I woke up the next morning before her, and I just continued lying on the bed and then holding her. It felt good. So she woke up like 10 minutes later, and then greeted good morning, rubbed her eyes a little bit, looked at me with the saddest expression I've ever seen, and then asked me basically did I have my way with her while she was sleeping. And then I was confused for a minute, because I thought she was trying to pull something, but then I realized that she genuinely meant it. So I was like, oh nah, I just held you in my sleep, woke up, realized you were still sleeping, so I didn't want to wake you up, so I just kept holding you in my arms. And then she looked at me and then thanked me for basically not raping her in her sleep. And then it really gave me perspective to how fucked up her life is. She's thanking me for not raping her in her sleep. And later on I found out that most of the men in her life had done that to her uncle, basically her ex, her mom's friends. Listen, I don't condone people selling out their bodies. In fact, I don't even condone her selling her body out. But then honestly, I understand it. It pained me so much that I couldn't do so much more for her. I lost contact with her because I didn't know that they reshuffle them every 6 months or so. So we were friends for almost 6 months. I had her number, but then my phone got seized. That's a story for another day. So I wasn't able to get her contact. I went back to where I figured her house would be, but then they had moved from that room to another room. It's a very big slum, so I spent the whole day kind of walking around just seeing whether I could find her. But then I later found out that there are 4 individual slums in the whole area, and then they constantly cycle the girls through the slum. So the chances of me ever meeting her again were very slim. But then honestly, I don't regret our encounter. I say it was one of the best moments I've spent with a member of the opposite sex in my entire life, and I actually enjoyed our time together. If things would have permitted, and then I would have stayed in contact with her, I would say I would currently dating her with thoughts of marriage, because honestly she didn't dive into the life because there wasn't enough money, or she wanted to buy this and that. She dived into that type of life because it was the only way for her to survive. It was literally the only way for her to survive, and I understand that, and I I understand. Let me just say I understand that. So yeah, that's the story of my encounter with my prostitute friend. Yes, I did end up sleeping with her a couple of times, but then I wasn't the initiator in all those encounters. She came on to me after asking me whether I found her attractive, and it's a story for a whole nother. I'll follow you in on that. And yeah, it's been a good week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, and then I made an extra $1.2 today, so I'm at $76.8 today in my trading account. So yeah, thank you very much for that. I know you haven't done anything yet, but just by watching this video and subscribing and hitting the notification bell, it helps me a lot. Yeah, I hope today's audio quality is better. I have gotten a better mic, and I'm trying to step up my editing game. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll catch you in the next one.